and still alive, we explore rabbit holes that contain clues and evidence often overlooked in regard to reportedly dead celebrities who may be in fact still alive, or not alive at all. Tons of ideas have gone into theorizing whether massively famous stars have gone into hiding or faked their deaths after immense fame drove them crazy or as a means to protect their lives. But what if a celebrity that was so big it passed away that the lives needing protection were the fans who would turmoil in potential suicide nationwide, having discovered so? What if that celebrity was Paul McCartney? What if the death of a Beatle in their prime had occurred? The world was still suffering the loss of JFK from just years prior. For the deep state, specifically the Tavistock Institute, their experimental efforts toward infiltrating America's culture would have suffered profound setbacks. Lucky for them, they had William Shears Campbell, Paul McCartney. Kick your feet up. This long and windy road could potentially lead to one of the greatest disappointments of your lives. Paul McCartney died in 1966, and an imposter has been masquerading as the Paul we fell in love with, not for just a decade, but for 5. A half a century's lie, singing and dancing in front of our faces. If a lie of this magnitude can be kept for 50 years, all while the truth was in our face, imagine what else the cabal has tricked us into believing. So Lions, let me introduce to you Paul of the Cabal. What we are doing is challenging a fundamental belief. To be angry or to be entertained is normal. We ask that you are aware of this. Somewhere along the proofs in this film, it could click. Feel free to pause and allow for your own reflection. I appreciate you for even making it this far. Before we meet Fall, it's only right that we remember James Paul McCartney.
Whether you're near or travel far, just remember, my dear, be there, my love. When on a plane or in your car, just remember, my dear, be there, my love. You could be miles away in another place or time, but just remember that you're mine, oh mine, oh, oh, just remember, my dear, be there, my love.
Most McCartney fans might be thinking, what song was that? Haven't heard it before, have you? And it's because it's from the band Famous Groupies. Recorded not that long ago, but written in the 60s and 70s. We'll loop back to them later. But if you were fooled, it's not because you are a fool. It's because you simply didn't question. Being distracted by sounds and images, it doesn't allow for much conscious questioning. This is a tactic used to brainwash. We've now been brainwashed to have forgotten what the real Paul was like. We've only seen 1967 Paul and beyond, mostly. So have a listen and a look at the last recorded interview of the real Paul McCartney.
Very formal, but it was good, you know, she put us at our ease.
Did she talk to you about the reason that you got the award?
No, she didn't say a thing about that. No. The only thing she said to me was, how long have you been together? And I said, many years. To which Ringo quipped, 40 years. We've been together now.
You're quite aware of it.
It hasn't helped or hindered it, I don't think. I think most sensible people took it for what it was, and it was only the bigots that took it up and thought it was, you know, on their side. They thought, haha, here's something to get them for. But when they read it, they saw that, you know, there was nothing wrong with it, really. It's just that they thought that by us saying, by John saying that we were more popular than Jesus, they thought, you know, he's bound to be arrogant. Did you see the fellow on telly last night? He said it. Tonight Show.
Contrast that to the first interview with Fall. If you listen and read between the lines, Fall's advocacy aligns very much with that of the Tavistock Institute's goal.
You know, it's personal freedom to be able to talk and be able to say things. And it's dead straight. It's a real sort of basic pleasure for everyone. But it looks weird from the outside. But it isn't. It's really great, straight. I remember that was exactly what I wanted then, what I want now. You know, which is just to be able to move freely, you know, and do what you want to do as long as you don't interfere with other people. If you interfere, okay, then you've got to have rules against you, because you could just go around, you know, doing anything, which might be a bit of a drag for some people. But first of all, then we can have rules against that. But I mean, at least you must be able to do what you want to do without interference. Because, you know, there's nobody who's got any right to tell you not to. Because they're only the same as you. You know, and it's really just, it needs everyone in the world to realize that inside them is the same thing that's inside everyone. You know, and that's all there is to it. And there's nobody better than anyone else.
I think all our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. You know, and I think that's what I sussed when I was 16 and 12 way down the line. But I expressed it differently all through my life. It's the same thing I'm expressing all the time, but now I can put it into that sentence that I think we're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends, you know. If anybody can put on paper what